There it is.
Hello.
What the fuck do you got playing in the background?
Oh, I just got done watching Children of the Corn.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Fucking shit. I started watching that. I haven't actually ever watched that whole movie all the way through because I don't know. I don't know if it's just like.
I mean, for the acting's really shitty, but it is. It's not a good movie. Like, it's a good movie, but like,
I mean, it's a classic.
It's not an award-winning movie. You know what I mean?
Like it's one that you just kind of got to know because it's a pop culture classic.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I've seen it maybe twice. This is maybe my third time seeing it, and but you know what? That guy did it all wrong. All those little motherfuckers with knives and shit. I would drop kick every one of those cocksuckers. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. Get away from me. Asshole.
Well, again, of course you would because you're 6'2" and you can do that.
Fuck that. I was gonna say half those kids I could fucking drop. I could just pick their heads off without even trying.
See, then there's me, and like they're all my size, so I'm kind of fucked.
Oh man, you come at me with a knife, and you're gonna get it. You know what I mean?
I love it.
I don't give a shit where your parents are. I don't care.
Listen, that's why I love that movie, The Dolls, where like the
Dolls,
or it's called Dolls. It's fucking. By the way, I'm Haleigh. Sorry, and what do you got? That's blue. What the fuck is that? What is that? Ooh, is that what do you call those things?
It's a blue one.
Oh, what I like it. I think it's cute. That's a party blue.
Well, we call them oneies. I don't know what people call them one hitters.
I don't know. I like it. I think it's cool. It's shiny and blue, and I dig it.
Yeah, for sure. It's nice. I like it.
I'm just I'm rolling with my cones here, like a basic bitch.
For sure. But my primary is going to be this guy.
Ooh, what's that?
The Chillum.
Oh, that's cute.
But I figured it's
very psychedelic.
I figured it's like red and yellow.
I love it.
One second. It's like, so I figured for Halloween-ish.
Fuck yeah. It's got a candy corn kind of vibe.
Kind of. It's candy corn.
Sure. I dig it. Even though candy corn is like fucking disgusting.
Yeah. But I mean, you're Haleigh, I'm Johnny.
And this is Johnny. Haleigh. Yeah, see, let's try it again. Starts with you. Okay. Johnny, Haleigh. Day of fun.
We'll get it one of these times.
Oh, it's harder when it's virtual because I'm sure there's a lag.
Yeah, probably.
But
so it's probably like
no fucking. I love. Yeah, I know. I fucking love. So dolls, like, there's a scene where this lady gets stabbed to death by like Barbie doll sized dolls. Like, and it's just fantastic. I just think it's great. And I love the idea that somebody had to like do the acting bit with all, because they had to do all the like stop motion animation with that. Like, I just love the idea of those actors having to like act out being like terrified of a tiny little doll. I just think it's great. I love it.
Like, there was a movie, it was about, if you asked me who was in it or what the name is, we'd be here for 10 years because I don't remember it. But
okay, fair enough.
It was a movie that had like these fairies.
Okay.
Like these little fairies living in the walls. And like they would come out and like they were evil.
Familiar.
They were evil fairies. Like they would if you were like looking through a keyhole or something, and they were on the other side of the keyhole, they would like shove a pin through it and try to get you in the eye. Like these were evil motherfuckers. That sounds
familiar.
I can't remember. It was on my dad's place one time. I can't remember what stupid shit it was. It sounds
like one of those like old 80s, like ridiculous, just,
Oh no. It was newer. Like,
was it?
Yeah, it was probably within the last maybe 6-7 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. But it was the dog shit movie. Like it was basically this tall.
Yeah.
Trying to people running for their life from people, you could just squish them. Fucking squish them.
I love those movies. Like, yeah, they're just bugs, just smush them. I love those movies though, because the ridiculousness of that, I just love it. I so enjoy it. But today, I'm so excited. Our topic of discussion for the next couple of episodes, whatever. I can talk.
Episodes, whatever.
we're talking wrestling because we just want to fucking talk about old school wrestling from when I was in like middle school, high school. I was watching some older videos and like we'll go through who are like our favorites are our favorite wrestlers, but fucking A, man, I gotta say The Undertaker, yo, just a fucking legend.
Oh yeah, The Undertaker's definitely one of my favorites of all time. Like, which Undertaker is your favorite though? I ask everyone that question that says Undertaker because there's like 8 of them.
Oh no, I know. Like Mark Calloway had like how many different iterations of The Undertaker. I love it and good for him. Mm-hmm. I love the sort of like not quite the dead man thing, but like God, I wouldn't know what year. So I was watching an old match between him and Mankind, a buried alive match between him and Mankind.
Okay.
And you know, he's got those like purple leg things on and purple gloves. Yeah.
He's got like the purple gloves.
Yeah. I dig it.
That was my favorite. That was my favorite Undertaker. Like the early Undertaker.
Yeah. Like not quite the super early with like the hat. I mean, I dig him with the hat and the like, you know, I dig that. I get it. The motorcycle stuff was badass too. I dig it. But the old school Undertaker in the purple who's like, you know, got the sort of undead goth vibe. I'm about it.
For sure. And I mean, nothing says badass like coming out to a Kid Rock song. Am I right? You know what I'm saying?
It was Kid Rock and then he was Limp Bizkit. I like the old Undertaker stuff, the old Undertaker intro with the big bell, you know? Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, there's few entrance songs more iconic than that.
I know.
Austin, like Steve Austin, you could say with
the rattlesnake crash. Yeah. Mm-hmm, the glass breaking.
Or
that too. The Rock.
Or which one?
The Rock.
The Rock. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I also love Shane McMahon's intro, the Here Comes the Money. I don't care. I love it. Here comes the money. I
like Vince McMahon's too. The no chance.
No chance in hell. I know.
It's so fucking stupid.
It is. I love how just ridiculous and like over dramatic, like the backstage stuff that they set up.
Which one of Mick Foley's character was it
So there's Mankind, and then he was Dude Love for a while.
Dude Love, Cactus Jack, Mankind.
Cactus Jack.
Was it Cactus Jack that had the entrance song that it was like a screeching car and then a crash? Was that?
Oh shit! I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
And then it was like.
I just like because I was watching the Mankind and Undertaker the match I was watching, and like Mankind was doing the like weird, crazy how he would like just scream. Like he just screaming crazy shit, you know, like there was times that I was like, is that the crowd or is that nope? That's Mankind. He's just screaming weird. I love it. Two of my all time favorite wrestlers. Mankind is up there, but I love Dude Love. Yeah, and I love Cactus Jack. Like Cactus Jack, I just love Cactus Jack because he would just like. He would say stuff like he's just insane, and he would always just have his guns on the, you know. I love that. Like that was kind of always his shtick to some degree. Was that he was like not right in the head. I just love it.
And then Dude Love was always just like dancing and shit.
You know, fucking awesome. I just love that the chameleon abilities to like, nope, I'm this now, and it's gonna be so much weirder than what I was before, and I don't care. Love it.
Well, like, Stone Cold Steve Austin, I think he went through like 2 or 3 of them because he was. I remember watching. If you watch that Halloween Havoc,
okay, I have to go back and find it.
The one that we have on the YouTube, go watch it. The Halloween Havoc match, the Chamber of Horrors match, but then there was like matches in between that, I think, or like before or after that. And Steve Austin wrestled in that, but he was under the name Stunning Steve Austin.
Oh, okay. Was that when he had like the long hair? He was kind of baby faced a little bit more. He
was kind of like a Ric Flair.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like frilly shit, like a frilly robe.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, more baby face kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, I think when he first started, because that was a long time ago.
Yeah. But it's kind of, so it's interesting because I was like, there's some like, there's a lot of like documentaries sort of on YouTube, you know, they're like 20 minutes long of like a wrestler's career. Yep. And like I was watching The Undertaker's and it is interesting to me to kind of watch them go through the different iterations of characters that they were, you know, and kind of the progression of their career into different, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the best documentary that I've seen as far as like the wrestling ones, one of the best ones I've seen is the Jake the Snake one.
Oh, is that on YouTube?
I think it was on HBO, I think, or Netflix.
HBO has some good. HBO's got that good documentary on Andre the Giant.
Yep, that was a really good one.
Oh, that was so good. Mm-hmm. And oh God, and it's so sad though. Like, Andre, he dies alone in a hotel. Andre.
Oh, I know. But like,
love him.
But like, I mean, you have to think of it this way. Also, at least he got to do something. And he didn't just get to work on a farm in France.
Oh no, that's 100% legit. Yes, that is very true. 100% legit. He had a wild. I mean, when you're that big, shit, you gotta have either a wildlife, or you're a fucking farmhand. Like,
But like
Brock Lesnar. Remember, he was a farmer. Where did he have? He was on the scene for like a very short time and then disappeared.
He's originally from
Minnesota, isn't it? Or is it
South Dakota? He's originally from South Dakota. He's on a border town. He's on a border town in South Dakota.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Because he was not on the scene for a very long time.
Vermilion. He's from Vermilion.
Is he?
Yeah, I think I want to say he's from Vermilion or Lemon. Somewhere around.
Those are very different locations.
I know, but I want to say I know. I understand that, but I want to say
one of those like. Well, you know what? Let me see.
I want to say Vermilion. I'm gonna put all my coins on.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I am a South Dakota girl, so I should have been able to pick out a South Dakota boy instead of saying he was from Minnesota. So
my sister went to college when he was at BSC.
Oh, okay.
Before he transferred to Minnesota, like Minnesota State, because he went to Bismarck for like a year, I think, and wrestled for BSC.
Fucking, he's from Webster, South Dakota.
Webster. There you go.
Shut the fuck up.
Where's Webster?
Webster is like, so.
Is that closer where you're from?
Yeah, it's closer to Eureka. Like, it's closer to Aberdeen. Like, it's kind of up in that corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like, fucking shit. I love it.
So he's
just so everyone knows, the 2020 census, Webster's population was 1,728. So just so everybody understands how small town South Dakota is.
Yeah. Well, how many people? 1,000?
1,700. So 1,700 people basically in
I don't
Webster.
even think my hometown has 1,700 people. There's no way.
Shit. Eureka, where I grew up, I think we're down. We're down around 800 now.
Yeah. I was just saying that as a joke. There's no way they even cut it. There's no way we even have 1,000. No fucking way.
Do you know what I love?
Maybe with like all the surrounding farms and like maybe if you count like the whole. I
mean, you'd have to look at the census stuff, but like,
but I guess,
I remember I haven't driven that way for a long time because I haven't been out West River to like Black Hills or anything for a long time. But I remember driving I was going out to the Black Hills and I went through Mud Butte, South Dakota, legit population 3.
All right.
3. And I'm like, how do you have a population? Like, are you like, I guess you can do that. Let's just, you know what? Me and you, we could start our own fucking town. Population 2. That's what you can do in the Dakotas. You can have your own town.
Well, have you ever seen that documentary, Welcome to Leith?
No.
Write this down. Write it down. Welcome to Leith. Leith is Leith, I think. Leith.
Okay.
It's a documentary. You might have heard about it in the news, but it's a documentary about a white supremacist that moved into a small town in North Dakota and tried to take it over through voting. Because he was trying to move white supremacists in to that town, so
and
they
like
would be the
take
majority.
over and have their little cult space to do their whatever.
To basically turn it into like the town they want or whatever, you know.
And of course, they picked North Dakota.
Yeah, it was a small town. It was a very small town over by Bismarck, I think, close to it. But it's a town of, it might have had 10 people, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, as far as a couple families and shit. But then
so he wants to just move in and
and like people had no idea he was doing this until he was like living there. Like he moved in and he was looking for property that was for sale. He was just walking around asking people if they knew of any property for sale. And then he would just go about his business. And then all of a sudden there's fucking 10 white nationalist flags in his front yard. And there's like they're having like city council meetings with him and like white supremacists and shit. It's weird.
Oh my god.
But this actually happened, and
you know what? I'm gonna say
the documentary.
That's what That's what you get for like the Midwest nice. That there's actually Midwest fear of confrontation. You got these people who are like probably talking shit about him and not wanting him around, but they're not going to say it to his face until he becomes a real problem.
I don't think their problem is they're too nice. Their problem is they see everyone as a good person. You know what I mean? Like, is
that a problem? Well,
I think that's a problem.
You don't want it to be a problem, but yeah, they're yeah.
Because, okay, let's say you reported let's say in high school you reported your teacher sleeping with a student. How many adults are going to believe you because they think that teacher is an outstanding person and he would never do that?
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
See, but I think that's a little bit, I think it is like a fear of confrontation. I don't think that it's that they really believe in the good of everybody. I think they don't want to deal with it.
I get that. But
anyway,
like the thing that I know about those like small towns too is like they'll just talk shit behind your back. They'll never do it. Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like
it's like everyone's a backstab.
Everybody's talking shit about everybody else,
and everyone is fucking elbow deep in everyone's shit. You know what I mean? Like
100%. That
like they have to know everything. I hate that. I hate gossip. So fucking bad.
You can't go into a small town and be there for 3 days and not have everybody know where you're from, who your parents are, why you're there. Yeah.
Here, I'll give you an example. Like, if people don't know like what kind of a town it is, one of my friends from Fargo went to Wishick and my mom made him some Cougans. Right?
Yeah.
Cougan is a delicious custard.
It's pie, sort of.
It's delicious. It's
fabulous. Just come to the Dakotas and try it.
Go to Cindy's in Wishick and try it. But
that's right. Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, like he went down there because he was on his way to a town around there to do a wedding. I guess he was like ordained person, ordained minister or whatever. And he went to the bar. And the first thing the bartender said to him was, "You're not from around here, are you?" That's the kind of town I'm from.
Because I don't know your face, so I know you're not from here.
You sat down. Yeah, you sat down at a bar for 3 minutes, and one person came up to you and said, "Oh, you're clearly not from around here."
It takes absolutely no time for somebody to be like, "You're new. Who are you? Why are you here?"
Well, you should see people look at me when I go back for a visit.
Do you know what I love though? Like anytime I would be in Wishing somewhere, I would love that I could just be like, "Oh yeah, my dad is Tim, Tim and Cindy," and like everybody fucking knows your mom.
Oh, like, sure.
So it's you're like automatically in, and you're okay if you're there because you're seeing Cindy.
If you know Cindy,
like, if you know Cindy, you're cool. You'll be allowed. We'll allow it.
I mean, just like I said, just like anyone else, I'm sure there's haters, but they won't say it to your face.
No, because they need her to cook for. They need her to cook for and cater every goddamn thing they have. So they gotta be nice.
That's true. But yeah, it's like, people in that town, they don't believe me that I'm from there. Because
when you go back,
yeah, I've met people at the bar, and I tell them I'm originally from here. You know what I mean? I graduated. I was born here. Well, not born here, but I was raised here. Yeah, there's people that don't believe me. Like they ask
well, because you have gauges in your ears, and you know.
But that's what I mean. I don't fit the part. You know
no,
I mean?
Yeah, like you don't look like you just came off the farm. Like,
but yeah, like when I would when I smoked, I would be out smoking outside of the bars, and like I'd be talking to people and shit, and they would ask me where I'm from, and I would tell them I live in Fargo, but I'm originally from here, and they wouldn't believe me.
I'm from here. Like, I was here before you's here.
Yeah, and like for me, an easy way for me, like the people that I'm around, I would just tell them who my father is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I would always just be like, yeah, my dad is Tim and Cindy, you know, and he's Cindy. And they're like, oh, yeah, Tim and Cindy. Like, everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, the only reason everybody knew my dad was because they knew your mom.
For sure.
Like, that was the only reason. I'm like, oh, yeah,
your
Tim.
Dad wasn't,
Tim, Cindy's husband.
Exactly a social person.
Well, and he wasn't that, you know, he wasn't from the area either. So.
Well, it's like even when you're I don't know this for sure because like I was kind of gone by that point, like living in Fargo and stuff. But when I was around, it didn't seem like your dad hung out with very many people outside of like my mom's work friends.
No, because he really didn't know anybody. I mean, he was, you know, he had his different circles down in like the Mobridge area and Eureka and stuff.
Right.
But, you know, he didn't.
When I was in Wishick, I let Gus out of my mom's back door or whatever, you know. I let Gus out and I turned around and I was walking out and I saw that picture that your dad always carried with him of that native family.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Just such a like
so fucking funny.
Oh my god. They
tell everyone. Tell them.
Tell them all, tell everyone. We'll get back to wrestling in a hot second. But yeah, my dad used to tell it. And you know what? It was not just my dad. Fucking Terry, so my Uncle Terry, said the same thing to his kids, my cousins, Shannon and Jeremy. They would tell us that we were like, oh yeah, we're native, we're Lakota Sioux. Like, and they had this picture that was my Uncle Harley and my Uncle Terry, and they were like dressed up for something. Like they went to, I don't even know what place they went to. It was like a dress up in South Dakota somewhere that they were in headdresses and gear and whatever out in front of a teepee. And it was something that would be terribly offensive nowadays, I'm sure. But this was back in the fucking 60s, okay? But yeah, it's a black and white fucking photo of them dressed up like that. And they would be like, see, we're native. We're from we're originally native. No, we're not. We're fucking Norwegian. You lying bunch of sacks of shit. But they thought that was so funny to let us believe that forever.
Are you guys, you're Norwegian or German?
Yeah, Overseth is Norwegian. So like I did the ancestry stuff and we go back to, I think somewhere around Oslo, Norway. I couldn't really get records from Norway. But our, like the couple that like our family comes from that came out here originally in the early 1880s or something. They were from Norway. So Overseth originally had the umlauts over the O. Okay. Little dots, you know, so it was originally spelled like that.
Okay. Yeah, there was my family was originally from Württemberg, Baden in Germany.
Is that an actual town name?
It's okay. Württemberg is the name.
Okay.
Württemberg, and then Baden is the name. One of them's the region, one of them's the city. I can't remember which one's which.
Okay.
But it's one's a region, one's a city.
I dig it.
So I don't know. I just knew that because
like my mom's side of the family has German background, but
German,
Overseth is Norwegian.
Yeah, the only reason I know that is because I think of my grandfather's funeral on the funeral docket thing.
Yeah. On the docket.
Yep.
Yeah. The program.
Pretty much, but like on the back of it was like family history and like where my family is from and shit.
Cool.
So yeah, but yeah, a little bit of a pointless fact sharing, but yeah. You know?
Whatever, it's our podcast. We can talk about anything we want. We can veer off.
I mean, you know what? I'm afraid to go there because what if it sucks?
What?
You know what I mean?
Go visit where you're
go to
from?
Württemberg, Baden, and then it's like, goddamn, they got on a ship.
Please donate to our Patreon so that we can go back and check out these countries from whence we sprung.
Right. Well, that's the only way. that's the only reason I can really think is like it must have really sucked because first they went to Russia, which
I know. Yeah, exactly.
Russia?
Germans from Russia. Yeah. They were just trying to find land to farm and that whole thing. And with all the Germans that went to Russia, and that all fell through, so they all came to America.
And then the fucking,
you know what? Here's my
then thing. Communism came around and their farm became collective farms.
Yeah, and they were like, "Fuck this, we're out." No, for real. Listen. The thing that I like about, before we get back to wrestling, just one more family history bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
What makes me feel good about my German ancestors having come over to America in the mid 18 to late 1800s is I get to be like, listen, I didn't have nothing to do with none of that Nazi shit. We all was here. We was here being farmers before Hitler was before all of that. I got nothing to do with that. My ancestors got nothing to do with it.
Pretty much like my family too, like anyone that's been over here.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of Garings.
Do you really? That's true.
So,
see, again, donate to our Patreon. Let's try to follow that thread and see where that goes. That might be fun.
Yeah, unfortunately, you go through Nazi history, and there's quite a few Garings in there. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who knows? I'm sure there's others. But
Garings
are a very prominent name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all right. Maybe someday we'll go through it. But anyway, back to wrestling history. Tell me who your favorite is. I didn't guess it.
You didn't guess it? Okay.
I didn't guess it all week. I ain't got it right yet. Who is it? Here's what I'll say too. I think, watched a lot more WCW at the time than I did. I mostly watched WWF.
Okay.
So I think probably more of the WCW wrestlers than I would have.
Okay. Okay. My favorite wrestler, the one that I was trying to get you to guess.
Okay.
I have two of them technically, but one of them's like more of a obscure wrestler, and I like him more for his showmanship than his wrestling.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like more for his character.
Okay.
But the guy that I was telling you about, one of my favorite wrestlers ever, is Val Venus. Do you remember Val Venus? I was
going to guess him because you know what's funny? My favorite wrestler at the time when we watched it, he totally was, he tag teamed with Val Venus a couple of times. Do you remember Test?
Yeah.
He was with Prince Albert for a while.
Yep, Prince
Albert. They were TNA. Yeah, they were TNA, and they had the Trish Stratus. That's Trish Stratus.
Yeah. Is my favorite. Trish Stratus. Yeah,
she's my favorite. Trish and Tess, they're my favorites. Trish, because she's short. She's a short little bitch like me with big titties. Yeah. I love it. And Tess, had that whole angle with Stephanie McMahon, early on.
Mm-hmm.
And was scorned by the McMahon family or whatever. Yeah. So I fell in love with him because he was like a scorned outsider type,
For sure.
So that was my whole thing.
Yeah. But
Val Venus. He used to come out with that towel.
Come up with the towel, and then he would do this shit with it.
Was dancing like he was a fucking striptease dancer.
See, to me, there was different eras of wrestling.
The things
what I mean?
That you could get away with.
I'm talking in the middle, where more than wrestling, your character mattered more than your wrestling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean? There was an era there where it was more about the drama backstage than it was about anything else.
Mm-hmm. And there was
listen though, I loved it. The drama backstage was so fucking ridiculous.
Well, because it was like a soap opera, and Val Venus. Do you remember Val Venus did a thing where there was these Asian wrestlers, and they had a really hot Asian chick with them. That was I don't remember
for
what
a short time.
Yeah, it was I remember the Swanton Bomb. They used to do
yeah.
Those
and
people.
Yeah.
But remember they had a manager that wore those crazy bulldog fucking
I have to look this up now.
Old school hats. He almost looked like Yeah, look him up. You'll see the hat I'm talking about. But there was a segment where Val Venus was like banging that hot Asian chick.
Oh my god, what?
It was so fucking funny because it would just like the camera would just turn on the Megatron thing when they were in the ring.
Oh yeah, like they would do
and it would just be Val Venus in a fucking. It would be Val Venus in a hotel room with like the blankets on him, and he would just be like doing stuff like that and like saying like slide lines. Like he would be like, "Did you find the remote?" Like shit like that. And then she would like
the most awful, like so obvious sexual innuendos that they would have, but like in the most awful redneck fucking sort of way. Just terrible.
It was so fantastic.
Oh,
yeah, and then there was like a thing where they kidnapped Val Venus and supposedly chopped his dick off with a samurai sword.
Oh my
God. It was fantastic. That's when wrestling was fucking wrestling.
When it was super fun. Oh wait, I'm trying to. Who is this? Essa Rios.
Is it Mr. Fuji?
There's somebody here that's called Essa Rios, but I don't remember them. Fucking
I can't remember
there
their
he
name.
is in his goddamn towel, just doing his weird little dancey stuff. Oh my god, here it is. Goldust and Booker T in bed. What? I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some YouTubing of this stuff, but like
I think his name might be Mr. Fuji.
Mr.
Or something
Fuji.
like that. Something like that. I could be just saying some awfully racist shit. But well, I mean not racist, but But
no, they had some shit that was racist, man. No,
it was terrible.
There's a Mr. Fuji, but he dresses like Charlie Chaplin. This is Mr. Fuji.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy.
But the hat I'm talking, the hat and all that stuff. I think that was him though. But yeah, they
my God.
He and his wrestlers kidnapped Val Venus and chopped his pee off one night on Monday Night Raw.
The things that they would, I just love. Because I was watching, when The Undertaker, kidnapped Stephanie McMahon, and was going to, have a dark wedding to her or whatever in the middle of the ring. I just love how, the amount of disbelief that you have to withhold that, oh, yeah, sure, they're just going to let somebody, tie this chick to a thing in the middle of an arena and television. The amount of disbelief you have to, be like, okay, yeah, that you just have to go with it,
Pretty much.
But the Buried Alive stuff too, the same thing. I watched the Undertaker Mankind Buried Alive match from early 90s.
Yeah. Yep.
And just the Goldust, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they all come out at the end and help bury the Undertaker, and they do the lights thing. The lights all go down and they have the lightning kind of effect, and it's it's so that he can get out of there or roll into whatever hidey spot so they can do all the dirtness or whatever.
Yep. Wrestling, when I was growing up, wrestling was Stone Cold Steve Austin filling, Mr. McMahon's fucking Corvette with concrete. You know what I mean? It's that's what you watched.
I remember that
with wrestling.
No, it was not. It wasn't. It was not about the matches so much as it was about the drama or the scenes where, Vince McMahon's in the hospital and Stone Cold comes in there and attacks him in the hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
It's such a shitty little set room that they've got,
Fucking right. It was so much fun to watch, though.
It was so fun.
Remember when Vince McMahon broke his leg and he was attacked in the hospital by Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Where it's
in the
just
in the hospital bed.
Yeah. Where he's in a fucking nightgown thing and everything, and it's just the most ridiculous shit ever.
Do you remember before he got attacked? But he had Mankind there, all dressed up and prepped in scrubs with a sock on his hand, and he was keeping. Oh my
God! I forgot the little sock puppet he would do because he did the mandible Socko and the mandible claw he would do with that gross ass Socko. Oh fuck!
He would take it out of his fucking sweatpants.
Oh God! Oh fucking
great.
Listen, there's so much stuff that I was watching that I'm post-COVID world germaphobes would just because Mankind, there was this one point in the Buried Alive match I was watching where he hit the Undertaker with a steel chair, like they do.
Yep.
And fucking then he was like just over by the ring being his crazy self and like licking the chair. And I'm just like, oh God, that's so disgusting. Yep. Like, oh, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, Mankind was such a fucking great wrestler. It was so much fun to watch.
Fun. Just out of his mind.
Speaking of weirdos that did shit like what you were saying, or do you remember a wrestler named George the Animal Steel?
I don't think so.
He was an old man. He had a green tongue.
What?
His thing was he would bite you, and it would really hurt apparently. But
because he was like poisonous. Oh my God!
And then look at that. Look at his shoulder and back hair. It is fucking sickening. I
was just gonna say he looks like he's got a fucking sweater on worth of fucking hair.
But that's what I mean. And you know what his move was? He would bite and tear the fucking turnbuckle apart.
Yeah.
And then he would smash your head on it.
They got a picture of him right there.
That's the kind of shit.
Just a mouthful of whatever that fucking stuffing shit is. Just
and like I don't think he ever spoke. Yep, that's George the Animal Steel right there.
Oh my God.
And I don't think he said a word ever.
That's
so he was just an old man that didn't say shit.
It's just
and he would just bite you to death.
I love it. He would bite you. I just love it.
Who is your favorite wrestler? You know mine.
I said Test. What? I love the Test.
The Test is your favorite. Okay.
Now, and I gotta say too. So I did fall in love with like, you know, the whole storyline of the like him being like jilted by Stephanie or whatever because she went to marry that whole fucking thing, that dollar store wedding in the middle of a ring, the most ridiculous shit ever. I gotta go rewatch that because I'm just like it's a little painful to rewatch how ridiculous and stupid it is and like how much I loved that as a fucking, you know, 12-year-old.
Well, like you were saying, Trish Stratus is your favorite like woman wrestler.
Do you remember how the puppies? They would get so excited about her titties.
Yep.
I loved it. I dig it.
Yeah, my favorite girl in wrestling. I don't even know if she wrestled. I think she might have just been like a manager.
Oh, like one of those like the divas who like were just there for pretty. Yeah.
But do you remember Sunny?
No.
Sunny was lethal.
WWE,
I think
or was she ECW?
That was WWF. Like she used to manage the Road Warriors.
Okay.
Like Hawk and Animal.
Tammy, there's a picture of her hugging a tiny little leprechaun man here. I don't know what that is.
No.
Is that who that is? I don't know.
Maybe it isn't. I'm gonna have to think. Oh, who the hell?
Sunny. Here we go. WWE.
Sunny was really attractive though. She was like
she's got some bitchin' like leather flame ass like top on. Oh
yeah. Sunny was Oh yeah.
There she is.
But or do you remember? Do you know that Sable married Brock Lesnar, right?
I saw that on I was gonna say because I saw that on how
they have like 3 kids.
Love it.
They live in Alexandria.
Do they?
Yeah, they live in Alexandria, Minnesota. So if anyone wants to find Brock Lesnar, he's got a house there. But
there you go him and Sable.
Oh yeah, that's gonna go well. Roll up to Brock Lesnar's house. That'll go well.
Oh Jesus, yeah. dude who became a wrestler because he was good at throwing hay bales.
Yeah.
Stay away.
But oh man, it's gonna bug me.
Who is the other guy though that you love besides Val Venus? You said you had 2 favorites.
Oh, okay, I'll say this, but yeah, it's gonna really bug me that I can't think of this chick's name. I'll think of it. But
was she earlier? Maybe WCW because like
it was around the time of Trish Stratus, I think.
Because there was like Stacy Keibler.
Stacy Keibler.
She dated Test for a while. Like I remember she managed him for a while, and like she's the one who got him to cut his hair.
Yeah,
remember that was such a big deal.
Yeah, but like Sunny is like my old school chick. The old school chick that I liked, and then Stacy Keibler. Stacy Keibler was fucking lethal. He was like.
Oh yeah.
Yes, thank you for saying that. That's the chick.
Yeah, because she came over from WCW when that whole the merger feud, whatever, when they bought out WCW and like they did the whole storyline that it was Shane who bought it or whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But yeah, she was but like she wrestled a little bit. She wasn't like a full-time wrestler.
Yeah, but yeah, she didn't do a lot of wrestling stuff. Not a lot. Yeah. She was she was there more to be eye candy.
Oh, for sure. And she served her purpose.
I was gonna say, good for her. Get paid for it.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Whatever. Yeah, there you go.
But the other wrestler that I love just because of his character, do you remember The Godfather?
Yes. Oh my God. And he was
the whole train.
Pimp. Yes.
He would have a line of women follow him.
Now, I'm sure.
He would have a line of women follow him in the ring.
Just dancing their way down.
They'd be dancing, and then when they were leaving, when the whole train was leaving the ring, he'd be behind him going, chugga, 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 chugga,
oh, fucking A. And he had the cane, the hat, the purple, the boa. He was, the big feather boas and then all the ladies dancing around him when he, fucking so ridiculous.
The Godfather was so fucking awesome. Oh my God. I loved it so much.
Same thing with Goldust. Just so I love how just controversial it had all the big boas, the flashy, very sort of like almost a drag queen, but not quite. Just fucking love it.
And then old school wrestlers. Do you remember like the Ultimate Warrior? The Ultimate Warrior. You remember the Ultimate Warrior, don't you?
Yes. Oh, for fuck's sake, man!
Where his entrance, into the ring was so great because it was just him fucking just methed out, just running to the fucking. I loved it so much. He didn't give a shit if a kid had his hand out. Fuck you.
Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck. He was going to that ring.
Some of those matches I was watching and when they would do the they throw themselves into the crowd for a little bit or whatever. They're fighting in the crowd and there's all those people touching them or when they're coming up, going up the ramp or whatever and all the people. I just always am like, God, the things that you probably can't do anymore. Because even when they were doing the Barry and the Undertaker thing, people were pitching their drinks into the grave from the stands. See that shit and I just am like, God, the things that would not be allowed anymore,
Yeah. I went to a wrestling event in Bismarck and fucking Shane McMahon, he came through the crowd and fucking gave somebody the business. I couldn't remember who it was, what match it was, but yeah, they he came and interrupted it and whoever was wrestling, he came in that disqualification, the rest his hand and shit.
When he was doing that whole little from the mean streets of Greenwich, whatever, he was bouncing around doing that. Which way did he go? Fucking
yep.
It was funny though. Ridiculous, but hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And when wrestling used to come to Fargo, a lot of the wrestlers would stay. It used to be the Kelly Inn on Main Street, but it's called the